There's no shortage of things to do on a cruise. Water slides, basketball, karaoke, trivia, Broadway shows, and even 80s dance parties, if that's your thing. But one of my favorite parts of a cruise is the chance to slow down and really reconnect with the people I'm traveling with. And my favorite way to do that? Game night. At home, my family has an entire closet filled with board games. We've got the classics, the trendy ones, and even a few obscure indie games that nobody else seems to have heard of. So when it comes time to pack for our cruise, we've got options. But cruise games have to check a lot of boxes. They need to be compact and easy to pack. They should work well with different group sizes and be fun for both kids and adults. The rules have to be simple enough to teach in just a few minutes, and setup should be quick, especially when you're playing on a small cabin table or out on the breezy upper deck. And above all, they can't have a million tiny pieces. Trust me, once you've chased a rogue game token across the lurching deck, you start to appreciate simplicity. Over the years, I've played a lot of games. Some were surprise hits, others were complete duds. The ones I'm going to share are my go-tos for cruising. Games that travel well, play fast, and never fail to bring people together. I've linked all the games in the description below, so be sure to check it out. If you decide to grab one, using those links doesn't cost you anything extra, but it really helps support our channel, so thank you. Of course, the easiest game to pack, hands down, is a good old-fashioned deck of cards. With just 52 cards, you've got access to dozens of games. Rummy, spades, hearts, and if you're playing with kids, Crazy 8 or Go Fish. Then there are these specialty card decks, the classic ones you see on every cruise. Uno, Phase 10, Skip-Bo. Just walk through the buffet area during the off hours and you're almost guaranteed to spot a few tables deep in competition. People really get into it. But if you're looking for something different, I've got a few recommendations you might not have heard of yet. First up, Quirkle Rummy. It's the card game of the classic tile game where you match shapes or colors to build sets. It's easy to learn and a lot simpler to score than the original Quirkle. You can play competitively or work together to figure out the most efficient matches. It's fun either way. Then there's Shifty-Eyed Spies, a hilarious social deduction game where you're trying to figure out who your secret partner is, all while everyone else is doing the same. It's perfect for larger groups and usually dissolves into a round of suspicious side eyes and dramatic winks. The last time we played, my dad laughed so hard he could barely finish the game. Bonanza is a bit different. It's a card game where you plant and trade beans. You've got a limited number of fields to work with, and each type of bean has its own value based on rarity. Trading is key, and trust me, it can get surprisingly intense. If you love a good mystery, the Clue card game, also known as Cluedo, is a great pick for travel. It takes the classic whodunit formula and simplifies it into a compact card game. You're still solving who did it, with what, and where, but without the bulky board or dozens of tiny weapons. And finally, The Crew. This one's a cooperative game set in the deep sea where you and your teammates work together to complete increasingly tricky missions. There's even a little storybook that guides you through each mission, so it's immersive in a really fun way. I love how it encourages teamwork and the missions get more challenging as you go. Now, I love a good board game, but when you think of classic board games like Monopoly or Risk, there's a lot of pieces, complicated rules, and setup that can take forever. While those games can be a blast, they're not exactly cruise-friendly. Our picks, on the other hand, incorporate strategy and fun, but without the complex setup. If you love beautiful patterns, check out Azul Mini. It's a tile-laying game inspired by Portuguese ceramic designs. The mini version is made for travel with boards that let the tiles click into place, which makes a big difference when you're playing on a moving cruise ship. One of my all-time favorite games is Abduction. Now, this one does come with lots of small pieces, so it's not completely ideal for the cruise ship setting. But it is the perfect game for any group that gets into the cruise duck phenomenon. You score points by arranging your ducks into patterns using spaceship-themed powers. It's lighthearted and silly, but also guaranteed to get your puzzle-solving gears turning. Codenames is another favorite that never fails to deliver. It's a word-based game where your team tries to guess words based on one-word clues from the Spy Master. It's a great way to get to know people better because you need to understand how your teammates think in order to give the best clues. If you like the sound of codenames, you'll also want to check out Things and Rings. In this one, you place objects into a Venn diagram based on shared characteristics. But here's the catch. you don't know the categories. It's a great way to get the brain working and can be played competitively or cooperatively. Now, if you're a word lover like me, Scrabble is a go-to game at home. But let's be real, it's not the easiest game to bring on a cruise. You might have already heard of these awesome alternatives that are just as fun, but a lot more cruise-friendly. Bananagrams is basically Scrabble without the board. You get a pile of letter tiles and race against your fellow players to create words. It's easy to set up and you can play it practically anywhere. Plus, it comes in this cute bag shaped to look like a banana. Another great option is Boggle. It's a fast and fun word search game where you try to find as many words as possible from a grid of letters. The game is basically its own carrying case. Plus, the game is timed to only take 3 minutes, so it's perfect to fit a quick round in between activities. Now, if you like word searches, make sure you check out our Ultimate Cruise Word Search book for those times when you just want to play a few games by yourself. When you're cruising with little ones, it's all about having games that are easy to learn, don't take up too much space, and can keep the kids occupied while you're winding down after a busy day. Simple card games with easy to understand rules are perfect and can keep kids entertained for hours. I found this set of 6 classic card games on Amazon that includes Go Fish, Crazy Eights, Old Maid, and Concentration. They have fun designs that will appeal to younger children. For a little more strategy, Connect 4 is always a big hit. It's easy to set up and the travel version doesn't take up much room. Battleship is another great option for kids who enjoy a bit of guessing. The travel version is small enough to fit in your bag, but it still offers the same exciting gameplay as the original. Now, if you have a bit of space and patience, Jenga is always fun. Some cruise ships will have a giant version available in the family room, but you can always pack your own mini version. This is great for teaching kids how to steady their hands and think ahead. Plus, there's an added challenge when playing on the rocking deck of a cruise ship. When you're cruising, it's all about finding travel-friendly games that come ready to pack. Of course, the perfect go-to is a 2-in-1 magnetic chess and checkers set. It's compact, and the magnetic pieces mean you don't have to worry about losing any of them. A few other travel games to consider. Yahtzee is a timeless favorite, and the travel version makes it cruise-ready with a self-contained rolling cup that keeps the dice from scattering. But if you've played Yahtzee more times than you can count and want to mix things up, give Farkle a try. It's another fun dice game with a fresh twist on scoring and strategy. Codebreaker is a fun 2-player game where one person creates a secret code and the other has to guess in as few of moves as possible. A similar game, Canoodle, has been blowing up on TikTok lately. This one's all about fitting colorful, oddly shaped pieces into a puzzle grid to match a specific design. Another travel-friendly option is Clever, a fast-paced roll-and-write game that packs a surprising amount of strategy into a small box. You roll dice and choose combinations to fill out different scoring areas on your sheet, trying to chain bonuses and rack up the most points. What's your favorite cruise game? Leave it in the comments below. We're always looking for a new challenge, so I'd love to hear what you bring. One thing I've learned is that the best games don't require Wi-Fi, fancy setups, or hours to learn. They just bring people together, spark conversation, and make the moments in between excursions and dinners that much more memorable. So, next time you're packing for a cruise, toss in 1 or 2 of these travel-friendly favorites. You can find links for all of them listed in the description below. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more cruise tips. In fact, you'll probably want to check out this video next. And remember, whether you pack a single deck of cards or have an entire suitcase dedicated to cruise games, adventure awaits.